I have hundreds of LPs, and I do not own a record player. I just collect them. I don't know why. I think they're cool.
Look at this object I have. Can you do anything with it? Nope. Just
No,
look
sir.
at it.
No, I cannot. I put it on a shelf, and that's about it.
What's its primary function? To be played.
To tell people that I have it. That's its primary function.
Well, I mean, it's not a bad thing to have invested in, I'm sure. I'm sure a lot of those records have gotten better over time.
Not the ones I own, Dan.
Have you ever looked at the prices?
No, but I buy a lot of new records. So, like, I buy a lot of, like, contemporary pop punk LPs.
You mean...
So you don't... in 30 years might be worth something, Dan.
So you don't buy any You're not buying collectible ones?
No,
You're just buying...
No. I'm just buying ones that I like that I cannot play.
Hey, watch him! With Dan and Tony! Hey, watch him! With Dan and Tony! It's Hey Watching, yeah!
Welcome to Hate Watching with Dan and Tony. I'm Dan.
I'm Tony.
Each week we go into the movie vault, which is basically Amazon rental, and find a movie that may have been forgotten, overlooked, ignored for a while, and then we dredge that movie up, dredge. And then we watch it, and then we hate on it, and I picked a classic.
You did. You did. This is one of the more bizarre movies we've done. I will say you did a great job.
Superman 3, 1983, clocking in at a bloated 2 hours and 5 minutes of what the F is going on.
Way too much. You could have cut 3 or 4 storylines and been fine.
I'm going to go out there on a limb and say this is one of the worst movies we've ever done.
I'm going to go on a limb, and I'm going to say that this was one of the sets that must have had the most cocaine on it during filming. Because that's the only explanation I have for some of the choices that were made.
I was reading a thing. I'm going to go pull it up. Talk about something else, Tony.
Well, okay. Well, let's talk about
something about this. Whatever.
I'm not going to change the subject. Or I might. But I would there are... for at least 2 separate movies in this movie, maybe 3. I think I could argue for a third movie, but there is a weird Superman movie, and then there's a weird Richard Pryor movie that I'm shocked that they even brought them into the same storyline. I thought for sure they were going to keep it separate the whole time because it doesn't make any sense. I can't handle this movie.
This movie's insane, but there was an even crazier movie they were going to make.
No way. Is that what you're going to read? You're going to read like a description of it? Please. Yes. I'm so ready for this.
So they were working developing it. It was going to be Brainiac and Mr. Mxyzptlk.
Love that.
You know Mr. Mxyzptlk, the guy from the other dimension.
Yes, sir.
Possibly played by Dudley Moore.
Okay.
Super
I'm
interesting.
Okay with it. Yeah.
So Brainiac is a surrogate father to Supergirl.
Wait.
Who he falls in... Hold on. This is insane. No. Who he falls in love with his surrogate daughter, basically. But she doesn't feel it because she's fallen in love with Superman.
Wait. Wait. So, is Supergirl not... Wait. Isn't that Kara? His cousin?
I always assumed they were cousins.
Supergirl is Kara Zor-El, Kal-El's cousin. Obviously that's not the way they're... Well, but then again, her father is in love with her, so I guess cousins isn't actually that much of a stretch.
Well, Brainiac has discovered her, and so he's just raising her.
Oh, I see. So it's a Woody Allen situation. Okay. Sorry.
So he uses a personality machine to corrupt and manipulate Superman.
Yeah, obviously.
The climax of the movie was going to see Superman, Supergirl, Brainiac, Jimmy Olsen, Lana Lang. You're just never going to believe this next thing. Time travel to the Middle Ages for a final confrontation in a fiefdom taken over by Brainiac.
I
Hold
can't.
on. You're not
What do
ready.
you mean, hold on? Time out real quickly, because where does that come from in the first part of that story? None of, and everything you just said doesn't make sense to the next part of the thing you just said. And there's more?
After defeating Brainiac, they leave
Right.
him in the past to be a helpless servant.
That's pretty fucked up.
Superman and Serpico would have then gotten married.
So we got some cousin marriages. Okay, that's
it. That would have been the climax. They get married.
So then they make Superboy for number 4.
Yeah.
That's got to be it.
So if you think this movie is crazy,
I still think this movie's crazy, Dan. Obviously, they had no good ideas, and they were just sitting in a room and just throwing shit out, the craziest things they could think of, and they're like, let's make one movie with all of them.
So we start off, so this is the one with Richard Pryor. We start off with Richard Pryor, Gus Gorman, at the unemployment agency. He's not even qualified to be a dishwasher.
Yeah.
And so what do? They send him to a computer job.
Yeah. Which I can't even, the disrespect that they hold for the computer sciences in this movie is baffling. He is able to, I assume, never have seen a computer before in his life. Nope. Sits down, just hits some keys, and he's like, I get it. This is intuitive to me. That is not how programming works.
This movie should have started with him being just nerdy computer programmer guy.
Sure.
Who's really good at his job. But instead, they have to make him unemployed and unemployable and a criminal.
Why? How does that serve the story in any way?
I watched this movie, The Toy, which is another Richard Pryor movie from the same sort of time period where Richard Pryor same sort of character, but then he doesn't have money, and so this millionaire buys him essentially for his kid to be his toy.
Wait. He buys Richard Pryor?
I mean, he hires him, but essentially buys him.
No, yeah, he's purchasing a human as a toy. Okay. All right.
And then, of course, the dad's played by Jackie Gleason, and the kid, he has to teach the kid how to be a kid, and then he has to teach Jackie Gleason eventually how to be a father. Really straightforward. Directed by Richard Donner, who did the first Superman movie.
Yeah, Donner. All right.
Is it a good movie? No. Is it a bad movie? No. It's just a movie. And that's why when you get to Superman 3, it's not a movie.
All hell breaks loose.
It's just who's made any... The decisions are just the most terrible decisions ever made.
Yes. Yeah. Can we are we to the opening sequence yet? Of the titles?
Because the titles. I mean, no, we're not to the titles yet. No, because they do Gus Gorman first. The first thing they do is...
I don't even care anymore about this guy. Okay, continue. I'm sorry.
So we have to set him up as being near to well and unemployable. Yeah. And so it makes a lot of sense when he becomes the greatest computer genius humanity has ever seen for no reason.
Just like computer programmers often do. They don't study, they just know it. It's intuitive, it's in their DNA.
But once again, this is probably the Brainiac character. They're like, oh, let's just make Richard Pryor the Brainiac character.
It's a computer. Yeah. It makes sense.
Yeah.
I was stupid.
So basically, he's playing Brainiac, but he's an unemployable criminal.
Instead of a all-knowing machine, let's make a guy who knows literally nothing, can't do anything, doesn't want to do anything, because that's part of as well. He's just very lazy. And we'll make him the genius. That's perfect.
So then we start off with the opening credits / 25-minute montage of things that happen.
Of slapstick comedy bullshit. I started writing a bunch of them down, and then I stopped because I was like, oh my God, this is never going to end. This might be the next 2 hours of the movie. It's just random bullshit happening that has nothing to do with anything.
So we have a couple small things that have to do with something. We see
I refuse to believe it.
We see Lorelei walking to work.
Right.
But to no effect. She just sort of walks through a couple parts of the scene. We have this other guy with robot penguins. He releases all these robot penguins, which I assume he's selling on the street.
Not very well. It seems like he's just kind of willy-nilly getting rid of them. Doesn't really care.
One of them, or some of them, catch on fire and walk out into the street. Superman picks up one of these on fire penguins, blows it off with his super breath.
Great, saves it. Yep.
What's he doing then, Tony?
Then he just releases it back into the street to get hit by cars and cause accidents. Because Superman's a dick in this movie. That's going to be a theme through a lot of this. And not when he's evil Superman. Just Superman himself is a dick. But anyway, back to the intro.
Then there's like a bank robbery, which Superman, who's there, never sees.
Doesn't
do anything about.
Doesn't hear it, doesn't see it, doesn't care.
And eventually, through this Rube Goldberg thing, a guy runs into a thing, hits a fire hydrant. The hydrant then fills up his car with water. The handles on his car just break off. They just break off.
Well, hold on. He's drowning in his car. The car is filling up with water. He can't get out. This is terrifying. This is my nightmare. Being trapped in my car filling with water, that's my nightmare. Because freedom is just on the other side, but you can't get out. But then Superman is able to just peel off the top of his rubber mat that they've just stapled onto the car because it's not a real fucking car. So stupid. At least make him bend metal or something. He's just ripping open what looks like a skylight. What are they called in a car?
Moonroof.
A moonroof. He's just...
But it's made of rubber.
Yeah, because they cut it out because they're like, well, Chris can't really tear open a moonroof. We got to fake it.
Yep.
Oh, God, it's terrible.
And he saves the guy, and then does he just fly away?
Well, first of all, I wanted to, there's so many. I don't want to. I guess I won't spend too much time, but we have to talk about the blind man for a little bit.
It's like a blind man who like falls into things and does things.
It's horrible. His seeing eye dog runs off. He grabs a painting machine, a street stripe machine, where they make the lines. He grabs that, thinking it's his dog. So not only is he blind, but he's an idiot. Because he knows the difference between a metal machine and his dog's leash, okay? And then he goes in a circle. He falls in a pit at one point. Someone steps on someone else's head in the pit. It is the craziest shit I've ever seen in my life. And none of it has anything to do with Superman.
And none of it's funny.
No, of course. Well, I mean, I was laughing, but not because it's funny. I was laughing because I didn't understand who is making these decisions. Last thing I want to say, when Superman sees the guy drowning in his car, he changes in a telephone booth. Classic Superman.
No, he doesn't.
Was it not? What was it?
Photo booth.
Oh, the photo booth. Yeah, the photo booth. That's a good bit, actually. And then the pictures come out because apparently the kid was taking the pictures even though he's not in the photo booth. Why would you do that? There's nothing. What a waste of money. But Superman tears off the Clark Kent part. Pretty funny. That was funny.
A little bit. Nice.
But then he flies across the street. Why does he fly across the street, Dan? It's 8 feet. Why doesn't he just use his super speed and get there in an instant?
This movie varies the power level of Superman's powers wildly from scene to scene.
Big time.
In addition to being literally the most distracting credits I've ever seen in a movie. They 100%. Would sort of rocket in halfway and then leave this giant weird blur that was very weird.
Yeah. And they come in at the super horizontal. So they look terrible. They look like somebody rotated them too far on accident. And then it's all fucked up. It's unbelievable.
So Richard Pryor's off at the computer thing. And this one person says, you can't do this one thing. And then he does it. And so it's just...
Is that what happens? Because all that I saw was this one woman being like, can I do that? And then the boss is like, you can't do it. She's like, but what if I do it? You can't do it. But what if I do it? I can't do it. Richard Pryor, I'm done. I don't understand anything that's happening.
Well, they were setting up that there was a function that the boss was saying was impossible. Not you shouldn't, but impossible to do.
Like, literally, you cannot do it.
Richard Pryor's character just does it.
And then he's like, how'd you do it? He's like, I don't know. I got superpowers.
So we sort of set up the bad guys, who is Ross Webster, his weird sister, Vera Webster, which is like a man with a bowl cut.
It's very strange.
And then the hot blonde, who is actually super smart. But
do we want to talk about that now, or do we want to wait to the end? Because I have a lot to say about this character at the end.
Okay, let's talk about it later.
Okay, but just throughout the movie, just know that she pretends to be dumb, but she's actually really smart, and they never pay that off for any reason whatsoever. I have no idea why she's smart. I don't.
Nope.
Also, Dan, what is a psychic nutritionist? Just out of curiosity, because that is the job that they say she is, and I don't know what that means.
I think that was later, so I don't know what that means.
You think you looked it up later and you figured it out?
No, I just
was
going to mention it. I was going to mention it in context, not just.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
I just remember someone said that about someone. I didn't remember who it was because it doesn't matter.
Lorelei's job. She is his psychic nutritionist / I assume lover. I might be adding that, but I'm assuming it's also that. So
we set up the Daily Planet. We've got Perry. We've got Jimmy Olsen. We've got Margot Kidder as Lois Lane. Lois Lane's like, I'm going to do a story in Bermuda. I'm out. And she's gone. Like literally.
For the whole movie. She's not in this movie at all.
Super gone.
I have a question, Dan, because I remember, and I haven't seen the first two in a while.
Yeah.
Aren't they in a relationship?
Sure.
What do you mean, sure?
I don't know. I haven't seen the two. I saw these two movies when they came out, and I've never seen the first two.
All right. I feel like I remember them being in a relationship, but I don't know.
Isn't that the whole Superman thing? He's like, which one, the other one.
Well, sure. I just don't remember them having a breakup. But then when we see them in this movie, they're just like platonically talking, and she's going to Bermuda in a bikini.
He's sort of still pining after her a little bit, but not exactly.
Right.
I mean, who knows?
I don't know, man.
So I don't know. The whole Daily Planet beat that we hit like 3 times is that they have this bingo thing where they send a couple people to South America, and we spend all this time picking these numbers, and then later on the people that won have problems, and later on the people show up back at the Daily Planet to complain that somehow it's the Daily Planet's fault that there was bad weather because the Daily Planet said there would be good weather.
Yeah.
And then at the very end, we get the bingo machine again. It's insane.
But they hit the beat 3 perfect times. All right? Don't you worry about it. I can't wait to get to the one where they win the stuff because there's some weird shit in that scene. But let's continue on chronologically.
Okay, so Richard Pryor gets his paycheck, and then he talks to this other guy, and the other guy's like, there's a half a cent missing from my check. If you could figure out where the half a cent goes, then you could do a thing. And so he programs it, so he's going to get all those half a cents. So they're all going to come into his...
Yeah. Now, what?
It's actually a really viable
thing. Is this a real thing?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Totally viable thing. That was always like one of the big scams. Was the idea was you'd set up a program that would go into everybody's bank account and take out a penny. Yeah,
I mean, that's actually a good move. You would never know.
You'd never notice it, and if you did it enough, you'd have a lot of money. And so I'm sure they read an article about something like that, and we're like, bingo!
I got it.
The key to our story. That's what we needed. So yeah, it works.
Okay, it works. That's a stretch.
It doesn't work in the manner it's where he somehow has access to all this stuff.
Well, it just comes with his paycheck. That's what's weird to me. Like, he gets his paycheck and he's like, excuse me, I should have one more paycheck, please. And here's $87,000. I don't understand it at all.
So Clark is on there. Clark and Jimmy are on the bus to Smallville, right outside Smallville, which I don't think they even tell us this is a chemical plant. The chemical plant is on fire. And Superman goes to save it, and Jimmy goes to take pictures. This is Jimmy's big scene.
Yeah, Jimmy. Poor Jimmy. Everyone in the first two kind of got the shaft in this movie for some reason.
Yeah. Well, I guess they weren't happy, and Margot Kidder wanted more money or something, and everybody is super unhappy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I guess I didn't realize there was real world problems with it.
She groused about something, and so they're like, okay, well, you're not in the movie.
Okay.
So we have a fire at a chemical plant, and Superman changes into Superman, and he flies over there, and the firemen are standing there, and Superman lands next to them. The fireman looks over at Superman, and what does he say, Tony?
I don't know. I wrote down a different line that he said.
He says, "Oh, it's you."
Oh, it's you.
Superman. Like
we're so
basically,
over Superman at this point. You know what I mean? It's just like, oh, okay, whatever. Go do your thing, Superboy.
basically God lands next to him, and he's just like, oh, whatever.
I mean, I feel like that's how I would treat Superman if I ever met him, but just to try to get under his skin. You know what I mean? Like you play it down so they're like, but I'm Superman. I'm like, yeah, okay. I don't see the big deal though. You got superpowers, whatever. It's fine. And I would try to upset him until he fried me with his eye beams.
So Jimmy climbs the ladder. Superman goes into the room labeled Acid Room.
So good. Just in case you weren't listening to the descriptions or could tell from the bubbling liquid, like they want you to really know that it's a full room of acids.
And then the guy in there is like, I can't leave. This is acid. If they see it's hot, it's going to turn into a cloud of acid and cloud everybody. Everybody's doomed. And so Superman's like, dead. Let me go outside and worry about Jimmy Olsen's bullshit for like 20 minutes and like sign some autographs and like smoke a cigarette.
And then maybe I'll come back.
So he goes out there. Jimmy falls into the fire and is like laying there like, help me, idiot. Help me. Help me. And then Superman helps him. And then Superman has to solve the problem. How does Superman solve the problem, Tony?
Before he solves the problem, let's talk about what the problem is. And that's that the water has run out.
Yes.
Of the fire, whatever.
Yeah, the fire engine's run out of water.
The fire guy, one of the guys is like, we lost water pressure. And then another one turns to him, he goes, we've got to have water. As if nobody knows that they need the water to put out the fire. And then Superman's like, I'll go get some water. And he flies off. And then the guy gets on the phone and he's like, you told me we had enough water. I don't understand what is happening in this scene. It is incredible. These firemen don't know what the fuck they're doing. And I love it. But Superman flies to a lake. He lands. He does his super breath. Freezes some of the lake.
little 6 inches of it.
Just like the top layer, you know, he just wants to take out too much. You don't want listen, there's a lot of water droughts, so you don't want to steal too much water. But he takes some water and then throws it above the fire, and somehow,
well, no, he picks up this big piece of ice, which is like a mile long.
Well, it's a giant lake.
With his little hands, he's clutching this giant piece of ice. It doesn't just crack under like it would.
Which is 100% what would happen.
Superman should have flown under it, picked it up like this, but no, he
at the center? Come on, Dan, no way.
He grabs little tiny thin edge, flies it over there, and since it's so hot, it turns into rain, and the rain comes down and saves the acid.
But there's so much rain. Yeah. There's no way that tiny piece of ice, I mean, it's not tiny, but it's also not 8 days of rain, okay? Ridiculous.
So we never see Jimmy Olsen again, or he's never mentioned again for a while, and they don't deal with like what happened to him. Somehow he is shipped back to Metropolis.
Yeah, why doesn't he get to come with Clark the rest of the time?
Because he's injured.
Oh, okay. So they sent him back in like a helipad.
Because he's in a cast or something. We show him like one thing. So we go to the school reunion, and there's Lana Lang, who's like, she's pretty smoking.
Annette O'Toole, yes, please.
Yes,
yeah, big fan. You know that she plays the mom in Smallville, right?
I heard that. I read that.
So when they kiss, it's like he's kissing his mother, and it was weird to me. I couldn't reconcile it.
You mean when he walks up on her?
Yeah, like I couldn't get over the fact that she is Superman's mom. And then they're like flirting, and I was like, this is weird to me. I understand that it was at the time, that wasn't the way, but it's too late now. I can't unsee it.
Well, they're flirting when he's Superman. It's kind of weird because he goes up there when he initially meets her and he kisses her and they kiss on the lips. They're like, it's really weird, like.
Yeah, just like straight on the lips. And I was like, gross, dude, that's your mommy. You sick fuck.
So we set up that there's the old high school football player, and he's interested in her. She's not interested in him. And
sure, he's like a crazy drunk, like, I don't know, aggressive. He's very scary. I don't know.
So Gus gets his 2 checks, $85,000.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Then next day, Clark's at the cleanup party with her. Lana has a kid, and they just do some catching up.
The scene's fine. I don't give a shit about anything in this scene. But why are they the only two people cleaning up this party?
Because they didn't want to pay anybody else.
It's a full gymnasium, guys. There should be a team on it.
Nope.
Unrealistic.
So the bad guy, whatever his name is, what is his name? Ross, Webster, he notices the missing $85,000.
As you might.
Sees Richard Pryor in his brand new Ferrari.
It's actually, this is one of the jokes that landed for me.
Okay.
He's like, well, you're never going to catch him. He's like, unless he makes a stupid mistake, some idiot. And then like the Ferrari pulls up right at there. And I was like, oh, that's funny. He made a stupid mistake. Good for you guys. Way to pay that off immediately.
So then we have the bowling. There's some bowling.
God. Hold on. Wait. You missed one of my favorite jokes of the movie, Dan. I don't know what's happening, but it's the weird sister lady. What was her name? Do you remember that? Doesn't matter. Vera. So they're all in the room together, and she's arguing with the blonde lady, Lorelai, and she like wants to kill her. At one point, she looks at her brother. She goes, "Pay attention! I'm about to take a human life!" And then like lunges at the blonde. It is so funny. It's so funny. She's so crazy. It's a great line. I just wanted to call that out for everybody.
That's the thing about this movie is they're like, it's a comic book, so it has to be like this weird...
So zany,
heightened reality that's just like, it's so painful.
It's painful, but it's also so different from the first two. It's why it's weird to me. Like if this was the first one, and this was just their attempt at making a Superman... I get it. You missed the mark. You tried to, do too many things. But the first two are like real movies.
They are like real movies, right?
And then all of a sudden, the third one is just batshit crazy. What happened? Where did that go off the rails? How did you take the first two fairly successful, I think, movies and just, you know what? We should do the exact opposite of everything we did there because that'll really get the people going. I don't know. It's very strange.
And also, the movie poster is the end thing where Superman's flying with Richard Pryor in his arms.
Yeah.
And it's like, the two of them, do they even have a scene together until the very end?
Yeah, no, just that one. That's the one. That's it.
Okay, so there's bowling scene. The kid sucks at bowling. Lana's kid bucks at bowling. Sucks at bowling. Bucks at souling.
Bucks at souling, baby.
We also find out that Kent was the water boy at school.
Yeah, great job. Well, because you can't show your power. If you watch Smallville, you understand.
Yeah. So so the kid's like bowling, and the super Brad guy's like bratting, and so Superman like uses his super breath to make the ball go down there, but destroys the whole thing.
Yeah. You said it like it should have happened, where he just used his breath and it just went down the thing. He uses his breath and sends the ball 120 miles per hour into the pins, and they shatter. They fucking explode, and everyone back at the bowling alley was like, "Oh, that was a good ball. That kid did a good ball." What are you talking about? That kid couldn't do that. That's worrying. Like, I would be troubled. I would be very scared.
So Robert Vaughn's evil character gets Gus up there, and it's like, you're Mr. Computer Guy. I need you. I'm like, okay. And he does like a whole thing about how he's never worn the same pair of socks twice, and then we have to dig into that.
Yeah, how is that not just like a one line and walk away?
No,
like if it's a single drop, I'm like, oh, okay, fancy, no socks. I don't know, man.
What happens to the socks? Oh, they give it to the poor? No, they're made into handkerchiefs? No, they're driven around in a parade of socks. Sock parade. That's incredible.
All the things to latch onto. That's not the one I wanted to expound upon.
Do you have any footage of the sock parade? Yes, let's watch this 5-minute film I made about my sock parade.
On. Oh my god!
Now, can you talk a little bit about Richard Pryor's yo-yo?
I mean, I can tell you that he used a yo-yo in the movie.
Did he
no reason.
Did he ever yo-yo the yo-yo?
I think the first time you see him when he's riding up the elevator to go meet the boss, I think he does one regular yo-yo. And then other than that, it's not.
He carries this yo-yo, and it's kind of a big, weird wood yo-yo. And then it's almost like they wanted to have like his
It's his thing.
His thing.
Yeah, it's cool. It's a cool character piece.
But instead, he just sort of uses it as string at different times, and
he uses it as the zip line later at the end, which is so dumb. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why that's a choice. I have no idea.
Tony, talk to us about what the big evil plan is.
So it's something about crops and weather. And it felt very nonsensical to me because it sounds like they want to control the weather. Is that what is happening?
This is what they want to do. He is in control of all of these coffee fields, except the ones in Colombia who are messing up his price fixing. So he wants to destroy the Colombian coffee fields so that he has all the good coffee fields and can manipulate the market.
Right. But the way they want to do that is with weather, right? Not like fire.
Yes, because somehow there's this magic satellite that we have.
Well, I believe it's called Dutch Boy. Huh? Geostorm!
Ooh, Tony.
Yeah.
Tony.
Yeah. Pulling it out.
So in other words, that's a good one. I didn't see that coming. So in other words, somehow there's a satellite that can completely manipulate any weather in the world to do anything it wants. But Gus is going to take control of it.
I don't understand it.
So
I would like to say that they make a point of telling you that Colombia has 2 exports and that these whatever crops are the second biggest. And I was like, are they making a cocaine joke? Because I feel like maybe they are. But I can't confirm it because they never really told you what the number 1 was. But I was like, I'm pretty sure they're saying cocaine. I don't know. In my head, it's cocaine.
So back to Superman. Superman's having a picnic, or Clark Kent's having a picnic with Lana. Clark eats dog food. There's like,
well, yeah, what? He just starts fingering the food. He's like, oh, this is delicious. She's like, that's dog food. Clark is like, well, it's really good, and then keeps going. What's happening, Dan?
Is he fingering the dog food, Tony? Nice one, Tony. Fingering the dog food.
He's 2 knuckles deep in the dog food. What do you want me to do?
So the kid chases his dog, who he's let off leash, and then Superman realizes he's gone because the dog is barking, and he super looks over there, and the kid has fallen and hit a rock, and his head is bloody, and then there's all these threshers
and the rock
coming.
is covered in blood. Like, it's not a little bit of blood, Dan. It is it's a concerning amount of blood coming from a child's head, and we don't deal with that. There's no reason to put that in the movie. Just make him, like, passed out.
And so Superman flies over there and saves the stupid kid, and then the guy in the thresher's like, oh?
Right, because he's about to get run over by some farming equipment. And then Superman definitely breaks the farming equipment. For sure, that's never going to run again.
Doesn't just pick up the kid.
No. He stops the machine in its tracks, destroys the gears. That's like $100,000 worth of farming equipment that guy's never going to see again. It's not like he's rolling in the dough. He's working for a living, Superman. Superman doesn't give a fuck. He takes the kid over there, brings it back to Lana, and then he's like, hey, Lana, kid probably needs to see a doctor. See you later. The kid is bleeding. He's concussed. He could die.
Then Clark Kent crawls out of this pipe where he pulls out the dog. I'm not sure how the dog got back over there.
I think he picked up the dog and brought it there for his excuse.
And then they're all like, Superman just came. And you know what? What does Clark say?
Uh-oh, did I lose you?
Oh, I'm still here.
Oh, we're back. Okay, sorry.
So Clark crawls out of the pipe, and what does he say about Superman being there?
I don't know. What do you do? Call him lazy?
I see him every day.
Oh, that's right. He makes that mention a couple times, doesn't he? He's like, yeah, I talk to Superman all the time.
What do you need from Superman? Got it.
I'll let him know. But we're not the same person, but I talk to him every day for no reason.
Okay. Richard Pryor then shows up at somehow they make him go to, I guess, no, Richard Pryor does see Superman a couple of times because he does see him in the scene coming up. He goes to Smallville to access the computer there so the computer won't be traced back to them somehow? I don't understand, even though he does it at his own business.
IP address. You don't understand IP addresses. That's all. MAC address, IP address. I know all the addresses.
Now, Tony, how does he get in there to access the computer?
I don't know. What does he do? Just walk in?
The stupid football player is the security guard there. And so he dresses up as a cowboy, in a checkered suit with a big case of alcohol.
Oh, that's right. Oh, yeah, he's going to set up the bar in the boss's office. He's got to get in there right away. Now I remember.
So
that's
then
great.
He and the security guard get bombed, and then he goes in there, and there's the computer. But to access the computer, you have to do 2 key cards that are far apart. And so he brings the guy in there, puts his hand there, and then puts the yo-yo string, and then he does this, and then he does the weather satellite, and then
It's pretty funny. It's pretty funny that he does the yo-yo string to make him push the button like a puppet. At the same time, I laughed.
It would be funny if this was... It's just like this movie, like you said, it's like 2 movies glued together.
At minimum. 2 at minimum. But yes, for
and
sure.
I mean, if this was Richard Pryor just going off, doing evil stuff, I'm fine with it.
Yeah, great.
But we cut back to like this sappy Superman stuff that you're just like, what the hell? Why?
Yeah, it's all very strange. Which is why you don't need any of the Superman, like the evils. We'll get there, but it's weird.
So he does all that, and then we cut back to the bad guys, and the bad guys watch on the TV that their plan was perfect. And they turn off the TV, and then Richard Pryor walks in, and he's like, nope, your plan didn't work because Superman fixed everything. If you'd left the TV on, you would have found it.
For like 2 more seconds. You just needed 2 more seconds on the TV. You would have seen all of it fall apart.
And he does this giant bit about it. And then they have a ski mountain on top of the building.
Yes, this is my favorite part. If I had all the money in the world, this is exactly what I would do. I would build my own ski mountain on top of a building, so that if you lose control, you're not just falling down, a hill. You fall off a building and you die.
No, you don't.
That's what I want to do.
No, you don't.
I mean, not if you're Richard Pryor. I can't handle the scene.
Richard Pryor's character then puts on the skis, goes down the skis, then shoots out the side of the building. Then he falls 100 stories straight down. 100 stories, 100 stories, 100 stories. Lands on a glass roof. Boop.
Yeah, with his skis down the glass.
Skis down the glass. Drops another 4 or 5 stories. Lands on the street. Fine.
Totally fine.
Totally fine.
Fucking movie is so crazy. Oh, God.
Okay. So then they decide that they got to get the corner on oil now.
Right. Obviously.
And so to do that, they have to kill Superman. So they need kryptonite. So Gus programs the normal computer just back into place. Of what's in
this time
kryptonite, and he gets like the readings from the satellite from the thing looks out into the universe, and it's all these things, and then 0.01% unknown. And so he's looking at a pack of cigarettes, and he's like, must be tar, and he just types tar in there. Now, Tony,
yes,
let's talk about the product placement in this movie. What are the 2 products that are product placemented in this movie?
I don't know. Is it Marlboros?
No, it's Camel cigarettes.
Because Camels. Damn it. I don't know my cigarettes.
He smokes Camels. He looks at the Camels. When he makes up his computer thing, it's on the Camel cigarette package that he's drawn on that. When they're making the computer, they hold up the Camel cigarette package specifically and nothing else. Just his Camel cigarette package.
Camels. I love it. Good for them. You got to get that money, baby.
Number 2, do you remember what fast food restaurant?
No. Is it Burger King?
No, it's KFC.
Oh, I love KFC. Great.
He mentions KFC at one point. Then when he was in the computer place in Smallville, he opens the broom closet door, and there hanging on the back is this big red bag with KFC. And
I do remember that.
We walk by that twice and give just this really good, sexy shot of that. The kernels.
It is good. I'll do some extra crispy right now. You know what I'm saying? Just a bucket of chicken.
It's so weird. It's so weird.
Dan, if we had sponsors, I would do it all the time. Every other word on my mouth would be their names. Are you listening, sponsors? I'll do it.
Oh, Jesus. So they make kryptonite.
Which, can you just make kryptonite? I feel like that's not how kryptonite works.
I've always assumed kryptonite was like an element, but I don't know.
Because it is. It's part of the home world. That's the whole thing. I don't know. Listen.
I don't know. So they make it anyways.
So they make it anyway.
Superman has to go to Ricky's birthday in Smallville.
Right.
So
he just makes personal appearances.
Because when Lana calls, Superman says, "Yes, please."
I would do it too. I get it.
So he's up there and accepting the key to the city. Then Richard Pryor shows up in military garb with Vera driving freaking Jeep, and he gets out and he goes and gives him the kryptonite as like a gift. And he's like, "Oh, thank you for the kryptonite."
Yep. Now, again, I haven't seen the first couple movies in a while. Does he not know that this is kryptonite? I feel like Superman 2, there's kryptonite. I don't know, man.
The thing is what this is there's all kinds of kryptonite, right?
Yes. Yeah, there are different kinds. Yes.
There's green kryptonite, and then
red
kryptonite, and there's
black,
and there's white, African American kryptonite.
But this is still green.
Still green. But what's the one there's like one that just causes random shit to happen?
I don't. You think I know exactly which kryptonites? I don't
remember. I used to have known.
Yeah.
So in other words, basically, this is like some derivative of kryptonite, so it's going to cause something weird to happen.
Right. Yeah. All right.
Okay, Superman.
When did we get the Powerball, people? Did we miss that?
I've been skipping those parts.
Well, hold on. We're going to go back real quick to whichever one. When they come in, they've won, and they're getting their picture taken, and the husband is like upset. He's like, he's excited. He's like, "Oh, I finally won something."
Yeah.
And the wife says something like, "Oh, you won my heart." And he was like, "Well, sure, but this is the first time I've won something valuable." I think we need to just talk about that for a second because it has nothing to do with the movie. Yeah. It's simply just a guy being rude to his wife for no reason.
It's funny.
Why is that it's not, I mean, it's funny in a terrible way.
The old battle axe.
There's some real problems for me in this movie over the female characters.
See, your problem is, Tony, you're too young. Back when I was a kid.
Thank you.
Everybody, it was just like wives were the old battle axe. Every wife was depicted as a problem comedically.
Yikes.
And that's that joke.
No wonder women hate us so much. You know what I mean? So
Superman goes to Lana Lang's house and he freaking creeps on her. And he's really good at it.
Okay, thank you, because I thought so too. I was like, oh, okay, I'm feeling a little weird here.
So he's like creeping on her, and he's become evil Superman. And at one point, they were thinking about this movie. They were going to split Superman in two, and it was going to be called Superman v Superman.
Oh, okay. I would have watched that. That's fun.
So,
you get like a little bit of that for a couple of seconds. Well, except for it's Clark. We'll get there.
He's creeps on her as Superman, right? Or Superman.
Oh, yeah, no, it's Superman. It's not Clark. It's Superman.
It's Superman.
And so, like, if you think about it, that's very scary.
Why is that scary?
Because the guy's all powerful. If he that's a creepy power dynamic to me. Like Superman creeping on someone is it's much scarier than just a regular guy, which is already scary. So it was off-putting for me.
So she's like, "Oh, it's the problem with the bridge," and she's like, "I got time, whatever, baby," you know.
Right? He's like, "I always get there in time," which was a creepy, good line. But then the person dies on the bridge.
Yeah, he goes to the bridge, gets too late, and it's implied that a person dies.
Yeah, they don't tell you. Sure, the guy is just like, well, if only you would have gotten here a minute sooner. And Superman's like, damn, my dick did it again. Got me in trouble. Unbelievable.
He does not say that, Tony. He just doesn't care.
It's internal dialogue. He's like, shame on you.
So now we're going to set up the end joke of the whole movie. How do we set up the end joke of the whole movie, Tony?
What is the end joke of the whole movie? I have no idea.
He's flying around, and somehow he's flown to Italy. and he sees the Leaning Tower of
Oh,
Pisa.
this is a great running bit. This is good. You're right.
And he makes the Leaning Tower of Pisa lean no more. I don't know, but more importantly, why is evil Superman doing this?
Because it's a prank. I think he thinks it's funny.
Does he?
That's what I think.
Did he
I
laugh?
think so. He doesn't laugh because he's evil. He doesn't have like an evil guy laugh, which is too bad because I guess that would be kind of fun. But I think he's doing it because he's like, I'm troublesome now.
So he fixes Leaning Tower of Pisa, making it so Leaning Tower of Pisa souvenir salespeople are going to lose work.
It's just this guy, this Italian guy is one, gotta be super offensive, right? To Italian people. I mean, it is the most character. Like, it's so good. Is how he sounds. And then he fucking, does he throw his thing down? It's so good. He like looks at the statue that's now totally straight, looks at his prop in his hand, or he sells little gifts of it, and he just throws it on the ground. This guy quit. This guy's day just got ruined.
So then Superman, what's the next prankstery thing that Superman does?
God damn
You know
it,
what?
I don't know.
You know
I didn't
what,
write
Tony?
these down. What?
These are all things that Mr. Mxyzptlk was going to do.
That's funny.
These are all things Mr. Mxyzptlk was going to do.
You have to be right.
Yeah.
100%.
These are all things that Mr. Mxyzptlk was going to do. But now they're making evil Superman do them.
Which doesn't make any sense because he's not like a trickster. Like he's
But Mr. Mxyzptlk would have fixed the Leaning Tower of Pisa. And what's the next thing?
It would have made more sense because he would have done it with magic as opposed to physically moving the building, which is not how buildings work.
So what's the next thing he does, Tony?
I don't remember. I just wrote.
What'd you wrote?
Turns the tornado upside down.
That was way back when, where I did that. That was like
I got nothing.
A page ago. He blows out the Olympic torch.
Oh no, I did write. Damn it! I should have. I'm not following along on my notes. That's a mean thing to do. Because they set it up, they're like, this guy runs for 300 miles, whatever the fuck they said. And he's just like, burr, 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 burr. And he just blows it out. And the guy's so dejected. It's great. It's great stuff. Just ridiculous.
So Richard,
weird movie, Dan.
It's a freaking weird movie. We're getting there a little bit. So Richard Pryor they're gonna take control of the oil. They're gonna send all the tankers to the middle of the ocean, and then they're gonna take control of all the pumps somehow.
I don't know the plan. It doesn't make any sense.
And then Richard Pryor's like, yes, but also make me this supercomputer. And he pulls out all these scraps of paper, and they're going to make him this supercomputer.
Which they do, and I am shocked.
So one tanker ignores the orders and is like, Metropolis needs us. We must go there.
He basically, I think I wrote down what he says. He's like, orders, sir. We got to go to the middle. And he's like, I'm not bringing my ship in the middle just to follow those orders. I was like, wait, but they're orders. This is insubordination. You can't do that. If you get orders, you follow orders.
This is Tony, conformist.
Thank you. Listen, I like to fit in.
Dan Good's a rebel. I'd have taken my boat wherever I want. It's my boat.
Oh, yeah, how'd that work out for you, Dan?
My boat.
It's my boat.
So here we get the fun one. Lorelei is up on like the Statue of Liberty or something, and Superman comes there, and she's all like, hey, big boy. And then they go, wait,
don't leave the roof yet.
Oh, yeah. So, no, wait. So she's like, oh, this tanker's not doing what I want. And so he goes out there and causes an oil spill.
Hold on. You're underselling this scene. This is the best scene of the movie. Okay.
Her on the top of the building?
Yes. Her seducing Superman is the best scene in the movie.
This is not where they have sex.
No, but it's very serious. He goes, does it, then comes back and bones her. But her in this her sexy red number, and she's like, oh, playing the damsel, very good. But my favorite part is when he lands, he's like, I hope you don't want me to save you, because I don't do that anymore. I died, Dan. That is the best line in any Superman movie ever, because I don't do that anymore. Oh, yeah, he's a bad boy.
And he's got like stubble.
Stubble?
He's got like the stubble, and like the suit is like darker. They've darkened up the whole suit.
Not enough. I wanted it to be a little darker.
Yeah.
It's just, this is gold. This is comedic gold to me.
So he goes off, messes up the tanker, comes back, and literally has sex with her.
1,000,000%. I mean, they don't show it, obviously, but she's on the bed. She's like, you want some champagne? He's like, I don't want champagne. And then, like, goes in and kisses her and lays down. They had sex. I have problems. Let's first, all right, let's talk about the science of it. Because, again, I'm pretty sure, I wish I would have watched the second one. I feel like they talk about it in the second one between him and Lois, and he's like, I can't be with you because, I'll kill you. But apparently it's fine.
I think it was Harlan Ellison wrote a story about what would happen if you had sex with Superman.
And it's not good. Spoiler alert, it's not good.
Basically, you'd be destroyed.
Right, because you would. He's very strong. And even in, like, Smallville, he has to lose his powers in order, to get the freaky deaky, which he does several times because the guy needs to get some.
Always losing his powers.
He's always, that's Superman, always losing his powers. I just have a lot of problems with that. And then the way they deal with it is just awful.
It's
terrible, Dan. I'm going to skip ahead a little bit and I apologize. But she now has a crush on Superman because they slept together.
Yeah.
Makes perfect sense. Superman, when he sees her next, she's like, hey, baby. And he's like, lady, I don't know you.
Ooh.
Brutal. Brutal. And she's like, but what about last night? And he's like, that man is gone. He has no sympathy for a woman that he just slept with and is now just, like, completely shutting her down. Superman is a dick. He is a dick in this movie.
You mean he's slut-shaming her?
He is. It's not good.
That's
it's
the real
not good
Superman.
at all.
The real Superman.
Superman's a bad guy. I don't like him.
So Superman, they start building the computer out in they have the gas wars, whatever. They start building the computer in the middle of the desert for unknowable reason.
It's got space.
And then we get to my only scene in the movie I liked.
Oh, okay. Not the one where she seduces him. Okay.
Well, I mean, she's great.
I hope you don't want me to save you, because I don't do that anymore.
She's the most she's actually Lorelai and Lana are the two enjoyable things in the movie. And if you'd made a movie with the two of them, it would have been a better movie.
Oh, 100%.
Superman drunk in the bar.
Oh boy.
He's drinking in the bar. I just started laughing. It was so funny. And then he takes the peanuts and he flicks the peanuts and that's what would have happened if he had sex with Lorelai.
I'm just the image.
Flicking the peanuts and breaking the bottles. I love that.
Yeah, just shattering them.
It's hilarious. That's
what great. A dick. He's a mean guy.
And then of course somehow Lana and Ricky have come there to Metropolis, even though it's like this tiny town. It doesn't look like Metropolis really.
Yeah, who knows?
And they're like, Ricky says, Superman, you're just in a slump.
Right. What?
Like that line.
What does that even mean? You're in a slump. The kid doesn't know what slump is because he's not in a slump. Like I don't know. He hasn't lost a bunch of battles.
You're only batting 200, Superman. You got to go back up to bed. You got it in you. You
got to get back in the ring. It's just a slump. So stupid. Kids are dumb.
So he flies off to a junkyard, and Ricky's in his head. He just keeps hearing Ricky's voice. Ricky, you're in a slump, Superman. Ricky. At times, did you think that this was like a parody of superhero movies?
Not a good one.
No, but I mean, did it almost feel at times like you like with just like another 5%, this would just be a parody of super movies?
Sure. If they would have committed.
Yeah. And then we have Clark Kent versus Superman in the junkyard.
Okay. Let's talk about this scene, Dan. What?
He's fighting for his own soul.
Great. Okay. Let's that's what he's doing. Why can't he fly?
Well, you see, what happened in the real movie, the Brainiac Mxyzptlk movie, is Brainiac zapped him with a thing and literally made him into two beings.
Sure. I get that.
In this movie, it's just like a weird mental battle that doesn't mean
It's
anything.
just right. So, but here's the thing: is that they make it play like Superman has powers and Clark doesn't, sort of, because he can't fly, but he can take a punch from Superman, just fine. And he's like, I can give as good as I get, but not if you're Clark Kent. You can't, because you're not Superman. The rules of this scene are very confusing.
They could have had sex together.
They definitely could have. He could have. He probably wanted to. He's dirty Superman. Yeah, please. Let's do this.
What's the most interesting feature of this junkyard?
Tires. All the tires. What is it?
That's very funny when he throws tires on Superman.
That's what I was thinking, which we're going to get to in a second.
No, literal pool-sized pool of acid.
Oh, yeah, and it says danger, acid, right by it.
No fence. No, just ground level
sign.
Pool
There's a sign,
of acid.
Listen, they marked it with a sign that says danger, acid. If you walk into it, that's on you, buddy, okay? Don't put it on me. I put a sign up. Totally safe. It's ridiculous. But let's talk about the tires real quick.
Yeah.
So Clark starts throwing tires rather slowly, by the way. It's not like he throws them all at the same time, but he's doing ring toss with Superman, and he's like, line 1, 2. Superman, by the way, just standing there, letting it happen.
He's not just standing there, Tony. He's tightly holding his arms against the side of his body.
So the tires can fit over, of course. And he just stacks up like 5 tires on Superman after 2 minutes, and then Superman doesn't fly out. Doesn't just lift them out. No. He bursts out of them and explodes. It's who is making these decisions? I don't understand.
Well, they're just special effects that they can do, right?
Not well.
So Superman wins his battle versus himself and is just Superman again.
You mean Clark wins the battle, he chokes Superman to death. He murders him. I mean, he's turning red, like he's got him like that. And then when he dies, he goes back into him. I don't know exactly the message that they're trying to send, but I don't think that it's appropriate.
So then Superman goes and fixes the oil spill.
By doing what again, Tan? Yeah, he blows the oil from the water back into the ship. That's not how any of that would work. That is crazy.
He freezes the oil and then makes it into oil rain that rains down and everybody catches it and puts it in their cars.
Puts a funnel. Yeah, great stuff. Fuck, this is bananas.
So the bad guys are at the Grand Canyon, and to get to the bottom of the Grand Canyon, they have to take the 3 weird balloons while Richard Pryor takes a donkey.
I am on Richard Pryor's side. I would never. These balloons do not seem safe at all. You're just in a swing seat underneath like a miniature hot air balloon. There's no way it holds a human being. I'm sorry.
So we've got this giant computer in a cave, and the computer is made by Richard Pryor. And what it can do is it can figure out anybody's weakness and then exploit that.
Great computer.
So Superman comes in. They're all up there on the computer. They're like pushing the buttons. Richard Pryor's not there yet, but they know how to use his computer somehow.
Even though they said, they were like, only he can use it. And then the sister's like, nah, I can use it. It's like, oh, okay.
Is that really what
who the fuck
said?
cares then?
Did they really say that?
I think that's verbatim. I'm pretty sure. So stupid.
The more you look at this movie, the dumber it becomes.
It's ridiculous.
So first they encase him in a bubble, then they encase him in a green ray, and then Gus has a change of heart, and so he's trying to figure out the weakness of the computer, and he runs into this one room, and then he sees a screw there, and he unscrews it, and that turns off the whole power of the computer.
Yeah, because that's how screws work. I don't know if you know that, Dan, but one screw in a computer controls everything.
So what does he do with the screw, Tony?
Well, he eats it, as you would. This fucking movie, dude.
And so then what does the computer do?
Well, it turns back on, doesn't it, at some point?
Why does it turn back on?
I honestly don't remember.
Because it wants to live.
Oh, that's right. It wants to live. Oh, my God.
So the computer turns itself back on, and then steals power from wherever it wants to steal power.
Oh, yeah, he like shoots lightning and steals it from outside the canyon.
And then Gus gets an axe, and axe is the thing holding Superman
The
down.
laser thing. Yeah.
And what does Superman do?
Probably something dickish at this point, because we're about to talk about what a dick he is, but what does he do?
He runs away.
Oh, that's right. He runs outside. That's right. Well, he's got to go charge up in the sun, I think is what is happening, but they don't tell you that that's what's happening.
No, that's what you would say if you were writing a comic book where you actually do things that make sense. Because comic books make sense. People that are idiots make comic book movies that don't make any sense.
Now, yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right. Before we go on, you mentioned that Richard Pryor has a change of heart.
Yeah.
But you have not yet mentioned that so does Lorelei.
Yeah, she had a change.
She is in love with Superman. She's trading sides. She's like, stop hurting him. Stop it. Her and Richard Pryor are now on the side of good people.
Yeah.
We're on the good side. I want you to remember that for the end of this movie because it's going to be very important. Okay. So now Superman comes back in. You can continue with your movie.
No, Superman does not come back in yet.
Jesus Christ, really?
The sister turns into an evil robot.
That's right. Fucking shit.
So what was supposed to happen, right? Brainiac, who was raising Supergirl. Right?
Yeah, great.
He's a computer genius.
100%.
So he does all this stuff. Then he finally builds his big computer, which is Computo.
Yeah, great.
So then Brainiac then melds with the computer and becomes Brainiac, who we all know, which is a computer.
100%. Yeah,
that's what's supposed to happen. But instead, we make the random sister into Brainiac.
The craziest cyborg ever. First of all, what I love about it is that it just encases her in metal. It doesn't actually change her if you think about it. It just puts metal on top of her, and then all of a sudden she's a robot? Yeah. Are they saying all robots are really humans inside metal containers?
Yes, actually they are.
Wait.
That's how they make C-3PO. There's a guy inside there.
Fuck you, no, there's not.
R2-D2, there's a little person in there.
It's a robot. Beep, boop, boop.
In Escape from Oz, the TikTok guy, that's a guy walking on his hands.
Wait. No, I don't.
You should watch that video. It's a good video.
What is that? Escape from Oz?
There's like this other weird Oz movie called like Escape from Oz or something with what's her name from what's the Coveney witch movie? Oh man, with the hot teenagers that are Robin Tunney and all these witches.
Oh yeah. It's Wes Craven, right?
Maybe, I don't know. It's a great movie.
Nev Campbell.
And who's the evil girl?
Yeah, with the curly hair, right?
Dark hair, super gothy. Feruza Balk.
Yeah. Why can't
she plays Dorothy in this movie?
Okay.
And they have
I have never heard of this movie before.
TikTok Robot Man, and it's like a guy. Oh, it's a scary movie with the wheelies. Ugh.
What the fuck is a wheelie?
They're like these guys that have wheels as their hands.
The Craft. It's called the Craft. Sorry. Yes,
okay, so wheelies. Superman comes back and he's got like the acid, which is a callback to the original acid. It's going to make the cloud, but the computer can't figure it out, and so it turns into Jello, and then the Jello destroys the computer.
Which is not what they said was going to happen. If you remember correctly, they said it was going to turn into a gas, Dan. Yeah. Not Jello. So I don't know. I don't know what happened, but it's not right.
They didn't have special effects gas budget, so Jello's what we got.
Just throw Jello at it. So fucking dumb.
So he saves Gus, and does everybody else just die? Does Lorelei die?
See, now this is what we need to talk about, Dan. So Gus and Lorelei have a change of heart. They're helping Superman. Lorelei gets thrown into the cave wall and is like up there, and she's like, "Help me, Superman!" And he doesn't. He doesn't give a fuck about her. He had sex with her, and now he's like, "I'm done with you. I never want to see you again. I hope you die in this rock formation," which I'm pretty sure she might. And then Richard Pryor, who was the guy who did all of this, he did all of this. He built all of this stuff. It was like, you know what? I'm good now. And he's like, "Oh, you're a man, so you are good. I'll take you out of here. I'll get you a job. I'll fix your life, my friend. But this woman who also is good, she can rot in hell because I never want to see her again."
Does Richard Pryor change his ways?
No, that's what I'm saying. But she would have. Lorelai would be a good person. She's super smart. She would be doing stuff for good because she loves you, Superman. It's off. I hate the end of this movie. I am upset by it.
And so Superman drops Gus at the coal mine and says, "Get a job here." After Superman leaves, he's like, "No."
Yeah, they're ready to offer. They're like, "Oh, you got good recommendations, whatever the fuck that word is. I don't get jobs." And they're like, "You want to start?" And he's like, "No, I'll walk 10 miles away to the train station instead of working here because that's how much I don't want to have a job."
Superman makes a diamond. We're like, why is he making a diamond? Then we cut back to the Daily Planet. What do you mean you still don't know? He shows us exactly what it is with the diamond.
I mean, he shows us, but it doesn't make any sense. First of all, the diamond is twice the size of her hand. She shouldn't be wearing that diamond.
It's crazy. So we go back to the Daily Planet. Lois has returned. Lana's the new secretary because it's a woman. A woman can only be a secretary. And she's wearing like this giant ring with the giant diamond on it, which means something.
It is huge.
And then we have the new computer bingo, which goes crazy. And then Superman goes and unfixes the Leaning Tower of Pisa. And the guy who's gotten his Pisa statues, he's redone them so they're not leaning, has to throw them on the ground. Oh, big funny laugh. Computer piece of guy.
It gets even better because they know how to build a joke. So he throws it on the ground and then he gets a broom from his friend and he just starts smashing his entire shop. It's actually pretty good. It's pretty funny. Hey, grazie.
And
A+.
If Dudley Moore had been involved in it, it might have been really funny.
It could have been good. Could have been decent. Yeah, but he wasn't.
This movie's, other than there being a lot of acid in the movie, it's not a lot of positive things to say
behind the scenes as well, I assume. Yeah. Just tons of acid. This is the craziest movie I think we've done. I don't know. This and like Trolls 2, both just crazy.
But I mean, this one we can understand why it is the way it is, because they took another movie and they just kept all their dumb, bad ideas and then just shoehorned them and added more. You know, ski slope on the top of the thing. Then we'll have this hilarious Richard Pryor falling off a 100-story building, not dying, and nothing happening. And that would have been like a Mxyzptlk thing too. The guy would have flown off, and then Mxyzptlk would have done something, and it would have been hilarious. Woo, 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 woo. But no.
Nope, not in this movie. It's just he's just fine.
Yeah.
He's just fine. This is batshit crazy. Top to bottom. Craziest thing in the world. And, super misogynistic.
Yeah,
so
but that's the
I'm against it. I don't care. I'm against Lorelai. Deserve justice for Lorelai. I'm starting a hashtag right now.
And who did she marry?
In the movie?
In real life.
Oh, I don't know. Who is she?
That actress married Billy Connolly.
Well, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, good for her. Well, good for him. Good for him. Yeah.
She seemed very cool. And she seemed like she was very funny too, which is really sad.
Yeah, I didn't look. I should have looked up if she went on to do some stuff. But I hope she had a good career.
She did a bunch of stuff. I didn't look at what she did after this, but she had a number of movies before this, and then she married Billy Connolly and probably lived.
Because this movie definitely shit all over her. So I hope it didn't hold her back.
Good for her. Good for her. Anything else to say about this weird ass movie?
I don't think I think I've talked enough. I can't with it.
Someday we're gonna do Superman 4, the Search for Peace.
I should just watch the first two to get reacquainted.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I had to watch Richard Pryor stuff to make sure that Richard Pryor was funny, because
just had to make sure that outside of this context, he is actually a funny guy.
Yeah. So
he is, right? I haven't seen.
God, yes.
It's been a while. And
I mean, the movies aren't as structured to hit, but he's such a great character, and the Silver Streak is him and Gene Wilder. Yeah. They're just both great.
Yeah, hard to beat that.
Yeah. And, when he black faces Gene Wilder up, it's very funny.
Right. Yeah. Not this movie.
Anything else, Tony?
I'm out. No, I'm never talking about Superman 3 again until we do Quest for Peace.
Quest for Peace.
I'll probably bring it up. Yeah.
Now's the part of the show where we talk about something we like this week. It's Tony's turn to go first.
Okay, I got two things that I want to, because I just want to do a follow-up. Last time I talked about Bridgerton season 2, and we have now since finished it, and it is fucking phenomenal. I love it. Great stuff. If you haven't watched it, watch it. People are complaining because it's like different, it's less sexy, and I just disagree. There's less sex in it, but it's actually sexier because the tension between the two leads is palpable. Oh, it gets my blood boiling. And then the other thing I'd like to talk about is we saw Scream 5 as a family. Everyone flew out to LA and we watched Scream 5, and it was a delight.
Scream 5?
Well, they just call it Scream again, I think, for some reason. But yeah, the new Scream that came out this past year.
It's in movie theater. Oh, so it's new.
It was in the movie theaters. It is out on VOD now, and it's great.
Haven't heard anything about it. I didn't even know they made a new one.
Well, Dan, you're making mistakes in your life. You should watch more Scream.
Is it a reboot or is it a redo of the first one?
That's not. It's what did they call it? There's a word that they use in the movie, and it's hilarious. Something like rebootquil. I made that up. You know what? I'm gonna coin that right now. It's a rebootquil. Yeah, it's like a sequel / kind of a reboot /
Do the characters from the original movies exist in this universe?
Yeah, they're in it. Yeah, not only do they exist, but they're in it. David Arquette, Courtney Cox, and Neve Campbell are all in it. So and Randy's sister, whose name I can't remember. There's a lot of great stuff.
It's a sequel, then. It's not a reboot.
Well, but it's also, this is what you just should watch it. But it's also, it's introducing a new group of people to kind of reboot the franchise at the same time as being a sequel. Okay. It's great.
It's a reboot.
Yeah, now you're on board. Anyhow, watch it. Great.
Started Moon Knight, saw the first one, watched.
How is it?
Started the second one. Unlike any other of the Marvel shows, it's great.
I'm excited.
It's really interesting. It looks very different. I don't know why it looks so different. It looks very different, like in an interesting way. You're kind of like,
interesting.
This show looks different. And
that.
Oscar Isaac, I've always thought is one of the most misused people of all time. Like always in like roles that are good, but the movies that are terrible. I did not like the robot movie, but he was great.
Ex Machina.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, he's good. Did you see his? It was the Coen brothers.
Oh yeah,
the Llewyn Davis or whatever. Inside Llewyn Davis. Fuck, he's so good in that.
One of the worst Coen brothers movies.
So good in it.
Just from a standpoint of, it's a great movie, but I don't ever want to watch it again.
Sure. Yeah,
It's just like, I don't want to go back to this world. It's a perfectly drawn world.
Not happy.
It's not a fun place to be.
No
it's like when I want to go to the Coen brothers, I want something. I'm gonna want to. I rewatched. What's the one about the perfect man, the simple man? Simple man.
Is that Damon? Matt Damon?
No. It's like he plays like this Jewish guy that kind of goes through the whole thing.
Yeah.
That one's incredible. It's so weird.
Yeah.
So
serious man.
Serious man. That's what it is. Great stuff.
Yeah.
So Moon Knight, thumbs up. Super enjoying it.
I'm very excited.
So what do you got for us next week, Tony?
All right, Dan. This is a movie that I have been waiting for I don't know, like a year and a half. I can't remember when we saw the trailer. It's brand new. It is, of course, the new Roland Emmerich movie, the new disaster movie of the decade, Moonfall. We're doing Moonfall.
We're doing Moonfall.
I'm so fucking excited.
It's
man.
available.
It dropped on the Voodoos this week. I picked it up, so we're ready to go.
Ready to fall some moons, baby.
I'm so excited, man. I am expecting to love this movie. Just so you know, I'm really thinking I'm going to love it.
It's not your nemesis, is it?
No, I like Roland Emmerich.
No, I thought it was Josh Gad, but it's not Josh Gad.
No, it's the guy who plays Sam from Game of Thrones. I wish I could remember his name.
Sam.
I love him. He's great.
Oh, okay. I'm excited. Wow.
Yeah, man. It's not getting great reviews, but I am excited.
Okay. I'm Roland Emmerich. We love that man.
I love that guy. Day After Tomorrow's great. 2012 is great. The First Independence. I mean, this guy does some hits.
Did we do Day After Tomorrow? We haven't done.
We
Day
have
After
not
Tomorrow.
done that yet, but I will. If you want, I'm in. We could do the whole catalog of Roland Emmerich, really, except for the first ID4. It's brilliant.
Yeah, we can't do that. We can't do ID Independence Day because of Will Smith getting canceled.
Oh, is he canceled? I feel like we're fine with it.
We can't. We can't do any of his movies for 10 years.
No, I did. I saw that he got banned for 10 years, and I was like, he doesn't care.
He went to rehab. Shannon told me.
Oh, good for you. Like anger management, or like what kind of rehab?
I think it's like fake anger management, where they say it's anger management, but they don't do anything. He just sips Mai Tais.
Just hangs out. Yeah, just hangs out in a secluded resort for 6 weeks. That sounds nice.
And then he says he's better, and then they give him movies back.
So many movies, yeah.
So this has been Hate Watching with Dan and Tony. If you like what you see, like, subscribe, leave us a comment. And,
if you're listening on a podcast service, go ahead and give us a review. Yeah, it really helps out.
Have we ever gotten any of those on those things?
We got one.
Yeah.
Yeah, nailed it.
Bang.
Nailed it.
Hit ya.
Yeah, we're crushing, man.
Kids
we
keep
are
coming.
cruising.
So, we'll be back next week with Moonfall.
Goodbye, everybody.
Hey, watch it!